Ever wondered, what is personal relief? Well, let's unravel that mystery together. Personal relief, in the simplest of terms, is a tax benefit that's designed to reduce the taxable income of an individual. It's like a mathematical magic trick, where an amount is deducted from your total income before the taxman comes knocking. The result? A lessened portion of your income ends up being subjected to tax. But how does this work, you might ask? Imagine your income as a big, delicious pie. Now, personal relief is like a slice of that pie that you get to keep all to yourself before sharing the rest with the tax authorities. The bigger the slice you can claim as personal relief, the smaller the remaining pie that's subject to tax. Now let's talk about spouse relief. This is another form of tax relief, but this one is aimed at individuals who bear the financial responsibility for their spouse, especially when they have no income or a lower income. Think of it like adding an extra layer of icing on your already sweet tax relief cake. It allows you to claim an additional deduction for your spouse, which helps to shrink your overall taxable income even further. And what about the little ones, the children? Yes, there's relief for them too, aptly named child relief. This is a tax benefit for those who support their children financially. Each qualifying child you support allows you to carve out an even bigger slice of your income pie, further reducing your taxable income. But remember, each relief comes with its own set of rules or criteria. From age limits for children to income thresholds and specific conditions for spouse relief, it's important to understand these to determine if you qualify for the reliefs. So, personal relief is a handy tax benefit, isn't it? Understanding and utilizing these reliefs can greatly lighten your tax load. It's all about optimizing your tax payments by capitalizing on the benefits the tax system provides. And who wouldn't want to take advantage of that? So, you've heard about spouse relief, but what does it mean? Well, let's delve into it. Spouse relief is a type of tax relief designed specifically for those who financially support their spouse. This could be a spouse who either has no income or earns a lower income than the person claiming the relief. But how does it work, you ask? Think of it as a helping hand from the tax system, one that enables you to claim an additional deduction for your spouse. This additional deduction subsequently reduces your overall taxable income. It's like having a smaller pie to share with the taxman, which can only be a good thing, right? Now, why is this important? Well, by decreasing your total taxable income, spouse relief potentially lowers the amount of tax you owe at the end of the financial year. It's not just about saving money, though that's a significant benefit. It's about recognizing and valuing the financial support you provide to your spouse. Let's use an analogy to make this clearer. Imagine you're in a relay race where every runner has to carry a weight. But here's the catch. The weight is your taxable income. Now, wouldn't it be great if you could reduce that weight, making your run easier and faster? That's precisely what spouse relief can do for you in the race against taxes. But remember, like any benefit, spouse relief isn't a free-for-all. There are rules and conditions that have to be met. For instance, your spouse might need to be earning below a certain income level, or not earning at all. In some cases, if your spouse is incapacitated, you might also be eligible for this relief. So there you have it. Spouse relief is not just a tax jargon, but a real and tangible benefit for those who support their spouse financially. It's an acknowledgement of your responsibility and a reward for it in the form of lower taxable income. That's spouse relief for you, another great way to lessen your tax liability. Did you know there's tax relief for supporting your children too? That's right! Child relief is another type of tax benefit designed specifically for those who financially support their children. The concept is pretty straightforward. If you're taking care of a child, you're contributing to their upbringing, their education, and their overall well-being. And the government recognizes this contribution by offering tax relief. So how exactly does child relief work? Well, it's similar to personal relief and spouse relief. It allows you to reduce the amount of your income that's subject to tax. But in this case, the reduction is based on the number of children you're supporting. Think of it this way. For each child you're financially responsible for, You get a certain amount deducted from your total income before your tax is calculated. This means that the more children you have, the more relief you can claim, and the lower your taxable income becomes. But here's the thing, it's not just about the number of children you have. There are other factors too. For instance, the age of the child matters. Typically, the relief applies to children who are still in school or who are under a certain age. And in some cases, the relief can be extended if the child is pursuing higher education. Moreover, child relief isn't just for biological or adopted children. It can also apply to stepchildren or even to children you're a legal guardian for. The key point is that you're financially supporting these children and contributing to their upbringing. So, there you have it. Child relief is another way the tax system recognizes and rewards your financial responsibilities. It's another tool you can use to manage your taxable income and potentially reduce the amount of tax you owe. Remember, every bit counts when it comes to easing your tax burden. So if you're a parent, a step-parent, or a guardian, make sure to explore this form of relief when you're calculating your taxes. Child relief, another benefit to ease your tax burden. Wondering if you're eligible for these reliefs? Well, let's dive into the specific rules and criteria that determine your eligibility. First off, let's talk about child relief. To qualify for this relief, the child must be below a certain age. Usually, this age limit is set at 18 years, but it can extend up to 25 years if the child is receiving full-time education. Moreover, the child must be unmarried and financially dependent on you. Now, let's shift our focus to spouse relief. This relief is particularly designed for those who support a spouse with no income or a lower income. However, it's crucial to note that there are specific conditions attached to this relief. For instance, if the spouse is earning an income beyond a certain threshold, you may not be eligible for this relief. Moreover, if the spouse is incapacitated, different rules may apply. Personal relief, on the other hand, doesn't have any specific conditions attached to it. As long as you're earning an income, you're eligible for this relief. However, the amount of relief you can claim depends on your income level. The higher your income, the higher the relief. Understanding these eligibility criteria is crucial. They determine whether you can claim these reliefs and how much relief you can claim. It's also important to remember that these criteria can change over time, so it's always a good idea to stay informed about the latest tax regulations. So, here's a quick recap. For child relief, consider the age and financial dependency of the child. For spouse relief, consider the spouse's income and health condition. And for personal relief, consider your income level. Finally, remember that tax reliefs are not entitlements but privileges. They are designed to help reduce your tax burden, but they come with specific rules and requirements. So make sure you understand these rules and meet the requirements before claiming these reliefs. Knowing your eligibility is key to taking full advantage of these tax reliefs. So get informed, stay updated, and save smartly on your taxes. How can these reliefs impact your tax bill, you might ask? Well, let's dive right into that. Understanding and utilizing tax reliefs can have a significant impact on your tax burden. Each relief you qualify for reduces your taxable income, the amount of your earnings that's subject to tax. At its core, this means less of your hard-earned money goes to taxes and more stays in your pocket. Imagine a bucket. The water inside represents your total income. Now, every tax relief you're eligible for is like a stone. When you add a stone, it displaces some water. In this case, the water is your taxable income. So, the more stones you add, the less water there is. Simply put, the more reliefs you qualify for, the lower your taxable income becomes. It's like a game of tax Tetris, where every piece you successfully place reduces the height of your tax wall. The goal is to keep that wall as low as possible. And that's where the importance of optimizing your tax payments comes into play. By taking full advantage of the benefits provided by the tax system, you can optimize your tax payments. This doesn't mean finding loopholes or bending rules. It's about understanding the system, knowing your entitlements, and making smart decisions. It's about choosing the right stones to displace the most water, or in tax terms, selecting the right reliefs to lower your taxable income. Remember, tax reliefs are not a one-size-fits-all solution. They are designed to cater to different financial situations and responsibilities. Whether you're supporting a spouse, raising children, or dealing with personal circumstances, there's likely a tax relief out there that fits your situation. So, keep an eye out for these reliefs when you file your taxes next time. It could lead to a pleasant surprise when you see the impact they can have on your tax bill. There you have it. Tax reliefs can make a significant difference in your tax payments.